Hey everybody, it's Mike Santana, and I am here to explain finally and do a live demonstration of what Levity cupping is. Regular cupping or traditional cupping, people automatically think of Chinese cupping. That's been around for thousands of years. Some people think that it's been around since the ancient Egyptians, which is like over 5,000 years ago. So it's been a practice that has gone through the ages, and now it's just resurfaced because Michael Phelps showed up at the Olympics in 2016 and he had these circle marks on him, and everybody was like, wow, what are those marks? Well, those are cupping marks. And what happens is when you put a cup on a person and then you suck the air out of it, you pull up on the skin, you pull up on the muscle underneath that cup, and it draws blood to that area. And then of course, it does help when you put cups around a certain part of the body, like let's just say you do the whole back, you're definitely helping with blood circulation, you're helping decrease high blood pressure, you're helping that person to just completely go into a state of relaxation, and there's just a lot of other physiological benefits that come with cupping. What I've done is I've taken regular cupping to another next level, and it's with these handles. These little handles on these cups allow me to actually put the cup on somebody's body, and then by use of a cable, a bungee cable, just come up and pull up on the cup. Now the value in that is that now you're lifting the entire muscle off the bone, off the nerves, and you're taking, not only are you taking a lot of weight off of a person's body, but you're allowing a tremendous amount of blood flow to occur directly under the cup, but also in the surrounding area. So in a few minutes, we're going to show you a live demonstration of what Levity cupping does, how it takes tremendous amounts of weight off a person's body, and I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about it. With my client, Mike, what's your last name?
Alvarez.
Mike Alvarez. And we're going to be working on him today. We're going to be doing some Levity cupping. Now, have you ever had Levity cupping?
I have not.
Have you ever had any type of cupping?
No, I have not.
Okay. Have you ever had any massage or body work or anything like that?
Nope.
Wow. Okay.
Just foam rolling.
Foam rolling.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with you with your shoulder.
So I hurt my AC joint playing lacrosse. I'm a student athlete at my school, and I've been so sore and felt super tight lately, and just my whole back and posture a little has been off.
What particular would you like me to focus on today? Like, let's just say we have a 1-hour session. Would you just like me to focus on your shoulder? Are you looking to do your lower back? Are you looking to do your mid back? What's
kind of like, it's hard to define where specifically. I would just say like from my shoulders down, like
okay,
all my back, I guess.
All right, cool. So let's get you started. So now I'm going to show you what Levity cupping does and why it's really helped a lot of people. So he's complaining of his right shoulder. He's having some AC problems. Probably there's a lot of tightness in the shoulder. So since it's his first time doing this, I'm going to just do a general cupping around his shoulder. And what I'd like to do is just try to lift his shoulder blade away from his rib cage. So here's what we do. We put the first cup right on the tip of his scapula. We put the second cup just above it. Okay? Then we position these two small cups right in between the shoulder blades. Here and here. Now, the part that everybody freaks out over is the cables. So, what we do, we prepare which cables we're going to use, and we're going to pull them in the proper directions. So the first thing we want to do is we want to lift that shoulder blade up off of his back. Okay? So we'll take these cables, relative tension, I'd say probably maybe 4 pounds per, maybe even 5 pounds per bungee. We hook them on here and we lift. Just like that. Okay? And just to make sure these things don't come flying off, do a little. That's it. Okay? Then we'll take this and do the same thing. Actually, that might be a little too much, so we'll adjust it. Okay, here we go. Put these there. See, now as you can see, his muscles are being pulled off the bone. His whole shoulder blade is being lifted off the rib cage. And that's the beauty of this, because now what's happening is that his lat is being able to be stretched from his rib cage, but also we're taking a lot of tension off of his shoulder just by lifting his whole entire scapula. What I like to do sometimes is take my medium cups here. Take these cables. Okay. Alright. And then we're going to come put these on here and lift. So what's happening right now is that his mid-back is being lifted up. And when we lift up on these muscles, it takes pressure off his entire spine. So for these precious moments, the muscles surrounding his vertebrae are being able to be filled with blood. And they're being able to be, and there's a lot of tension just lifted off of the back, just because we're lifting the muscles off the bone. We might even go a little bit more. Here. Now we're going to take these and lift his lower back. There. So now we've just taken his entire lumbar spine and lifted all the tension. So he's basically hanging from his muscles. One of the cool things about Levity cupping is it's completely multi-directional, it's multifaceted. So here I was pulling sort of in a downward direction because of the way the rhomboid muscles actually are in conjunction with the scapula. But you can also take these away, turn the cups around, and then pull from this angle and get a much more intense pull. Now, if you take a look, you can see the separating that's going on in between his shoulder blade and his rhomboid muscles, and there is a major stretch going on right there. So that's another one of the features that Levity cupping has that traditional cupping just doesn't have. It's about the time where I'm going to take the cups off of Mike's lower back, and maybe Mike can describe what this feels like. But here we go. And look at what happens to his back. Okay, dipping and dipping. All right, Mike, what does it feel like?
Feels nice. It's like super warm, and I felt a lot better.
So you're saying it feels warm?
It's nice and warm, yeah.
Okay, so it's warm because there's a tremendous amount of blood circulation going on in his lower back. Take a look. So now This is our chart that tells us some of the reactions that you can expect when you're doing cupping, right? Now when you take a cup off and it has like a light pink, that's considered healthy blood circulation. So let's look at him and see. I would say that's healthy blood, right? Then you go to the next one, that's moderate stagnation, and what stagnation means is where your blood circulation is not really moving. It's almost like pond water, it doesn't flow. Or you think about a river, that's clean flowing water, right? Same thing with our blood. If it's flowing nicely without any obstructions, then there won't be any stagnation. So you can see right here, the blood that's going on in this part of his shoulder blade is actually pretty clean. But now you move down here, that is between moderate and severe stagnation. So that means that his issue more than likely is centered right around his teres major, teres minor, maybe where his lat comes up and attaches into the back of his arm. So this is a good indicator of where his problem might be originating from. We've gone ahead and prepped his hamstrings because he gets a lot of tightness in the backs of his legs. So again, with the cupping, we're going to pull down these cups and lift up on his hamstrings, just like this. Okay? And like that. So, now, the advantage of having pressure lifted off the backs of your legs it takes all the pressure off the sacrum now. So right now, not only are we lifting the heaviness of his hamstring, there's no pulling downward, and his sacrum is having a chance to not have any tension on it. So we're actually working his lower back just from taking pressure off of his hamstrings. Alright, so we just finished his first session of Levity cupping. Just tell us a little bit about how you feel, what the experience was like.
I feel actually a lot looser. All the tightness in my lower back and upper back and shoulders, and as I mentioned before, my AC joint area, I felt all that pressure kind of just disappear. With the Levity cupping, like you said, it's pulling the muscles up, and I could really feel the muscles being pulled apart and just like my body relaxing. And I felt super warm. I almost felt like I was in a heat pack. Cool. I felt very good.
Awesome.
I feel like I could run marathon.
Awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that. All right. Well, you heard it from our athlete, lacrosse player Mike, and Mike Alvarez. All right. Thanks for watching.